Ladies and gentlemen, today I am in an amazing hotel room with this great view of Seattle, Washington. And, we just did one other interview here, but right now we are speaking with Roni Rumsey.
Mm-hmm.
And Roni, first I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you.
Your passion is pretty interesting. I love that you are a school district administrator because, I was a teacher for 12 years until last June. So I know what your day-to-day full-time life is like. And I think it's really fascinating that you have incorporated a passion into your life that is truly, truly meaningful. And so I thought we could talk about that today. Will you tell everybody what your passion is?
Well, it started with my love for photography and then wanting to give back. And knowing that giving back doesn't always have to mean giving money to things, but it can be giving talents and gifts. So I've been using my photography to give back to the community in 2 or 3 different ways. I volunteer as a Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep photographer, which is where I go into hospitals with families who have lost their baby and do the family photos for them in the hospital. I also spent some time out at a camp called Camp Corey working with, during their summer camp, doing photography for kids who, have terminal illnesses. They might have brain injuries, all kinds of different not necessarily handicapping conditions, but medical conditions that don't always allow them to go to summer camp and be away from their family for a while. And then the latest thing I'm working on is just downtown Seattle. I go and talk to homeless people or people who are, a lot of them aren't homeless, but they're more, I would say they're panhandlers, but they're
Poverty stricken?
Yes, I mean the housing they live in is, below substandard, and they may have a home, but it's just not much of anything. So I go ask if I can talk to them, take them a coffee, feed them if they want, and then take their pictures and write a little story about them. And I don't know what that's going to lead to, but there's something brewing. That's all I can tell you.
Right, and so you're compiling all these different stories and pictures with the different people that you meet.
Right.
I love that you are taking something you're passionate about and using it to really improve or impact the life of others. Like let's say the homeless people or the poverty-stricken people that you meet with. I'm sure that you make them feel very important when you spend this time with them.
I try.
When you take pictures at the camp with the kids who have illnesses of some kind and you're capturing their happiness when they're doing things like, what are the activities there that you photograph?
At this camp, it's the old Carnation Dairy Farm, and they have a ropes course there that they get the kids on, so they can get the wheelchairs up there, and the kids get to, climb the ropes or swing, walk across the different ropes. They have a zip line that the kids can go on, so I photograph that. They have a lot of field day activities that happen in this big grassy area that I'll photograph. They might be fishing down at the lake or paddling in the paddle boats, riding horses. And then I go during family weekends and take pictures to kind of record for the organization so that they have some photos to document the different activities that go on.
That's awesome. And then you go into the hospitals. I mean, how difficult is it for you, or what does it feel like for you when you're capturing shots of, let's say, stillborn babies for families?
It's very humbling to be allowed into a family at such a impactful time. I'm not sure I can put words to it. I leave feeling very grateful. I feel very humble. I feel like I've given back. It's not as hard as people think. Because I'm kind of in there to do a job, although it's a really sensitive job. Just knowing that I'm giving something to a family that they won't ever have the opportunity to get again is pretty profound.
And I think that's kind of true with photography, on the whole. like you'll never be able to go back and do that again. You know what I
Right.
mean? Whether it's a
Right.
wedding day or, you know, a vacation, a summer camp when you're 13.2 years old, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, you can never go back, and that's the beauty. I'm so appreciative, really, of my crew member Cassie being with us on this trip for the same reason that, you know, she's capturing amazing footage like you right now, and which you were really happy about being on the other end of the camera, and just snapshots and pictures of what we're doing and where we are. It's just priceless. And so, what do you think out of all of these different things that you are doing? What has been one of your most memorable experiences?
Oh gosh, there've been a ton. Gosh. I think probably there was a gal named Sarah that I met. And I always ask them, what do you want people to know about homeless people? And her words were something to the effect of, if we could get a job, we would. If we could have chosen differently and knew where we would end up, we would have chosen differently. And this can happen to anybody in a heartbeat.
When you go out and you take part in these different things, whether it's meeting strangers on the street or families in the hospital, do you have any hesitation or any challenges in doing that?
I actually do with some of the homeless, just because of the mental illness that is out on the street. I just want to make sure that I'm safe. So I don't choose to go out when it's dark. So whenever I do any homeless work, it's during the day. I don't choose to go to the homeless area by myself. I've never been there, and I usually go by myself. So I just want to make sure that I'm staying safe, because if something happens to me, then whatever's going to happen with this project could be jeopardized. So that would be my only reservation about anything, is just making sure I'm safe. Pretty much during the day, I feel okay.
What have you learned about yourself?
That I'm. Oh golly, what have I learned about myself? I can do more than I ever thought I could. That I am impacting the world in a way I never thought I would. That these people have stamped something on my heart that won't ever go away. Whether it's a homeless person or a family who's lost a baby. So,
for all those people who are listening right now, and you know they have something that, you know, maybe they have an idea, like you had an idea to go meet up with homeless people, to seek them out, take their picture. Like, this is something you created and designed for yourself. So if somebody is sitting there right now listening and they have an idea of their own, what kind of advice would you give? Would you give them today to say, you know, yeah, take that step to do it?
Don't worry about what other people think. That's the big one. When people say, you really go photograph families with dead babies? I do. What if the homeless person's not really homeless? What if? That's between them and whoever they have to answer to. It's not between me and them. Don't worry about what the people on the street are thinking about you as you're taking somebody's picture, or when you take a homeless person who doesn't smell really great or look really great into a restaurant to feed them. Don't worry about it.
Last question. How do you want to be remembered?
As somebody who impacted the world.
And you can do that through your art. And you're doing it for free. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
You're welcome.
And I talk to you, and I talk to you, and I talk to you, and I talk to you. And we love, and we hate, and we demonstrate. We try to relate. This is my breakthrough.